It's been a while. We are going to do some Am I the A-hole? So, Am I the A-holes from a Reddit thread, and we are going to decide who's the A-hole. Are they both A-holes? Or neither the A-hole? Let us be the judge. Do it. You know the drill, you know the deal. We gotta do some channel maintenance, channel hygiene, channels are Tamagotchi. So if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back. Oh geez, if you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you're old here, double check, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like if you like, leave a comment. It could be anything related to the video. It could just be a hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool and respectful. As always, I've linked my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1 helps. That is what allows me to make content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. I know, not everybody can come, but you can't say you weren't invited. The link to my Patreon is down below, and I post a lot over there. If you want extra content, but you don't want to leave this platform, you can join YouTube memberships by clicking join below. Going to my channel page, clicking the join button. That is content that is exclusive to YouTube members. Today we're gonna choose some. I'm almost done with this bag of extra winter fresh. Let's see what we got. Am I the a-hole for choosing to drive 45 plus minutes at 3 a.m. instead of following my dad's separate rooms rule? My boyfriend 23 and I 22 are going on vacation. Our flight is at 6 a.m. so we have to be there at 3 a.m. My parents' house is the closest to the airport, being 20 minutes from it. It would be easiest to stay there as my apartment and my boyfriend's house are farther than 45 minutes away. My parents offered for us to stay at their house so they can also drive us there, but we do not want to pay for we don't have to pay for parking. This is ideal, but my dad is uncomfortable with letting my boyfriend stay in my room. It's their house, okay? And they're also offering the amenities, they're offering the drive, like just obey their rules. However, my mom is comfortable. My dad wants him to sleep in the guest room since we are not married and should not sleep together under his roof. I understand this and will respect his wishes. But I am uncomfortable with my boyfriend being in the guest room. We are both respectful people who have been together for a while now. So in order to make everyone comfortable, I told my dad we'll be staying in my apartment. He got mad and said he wants to be the one to drive us to the airport. I told him that would be ideal, but I'm uncomfortable with my boyfriend staying in the guest room. He then asked why I'm making a big deal of this. I have had an amazing relationship with my dad and hate to argue about this. He's literally my hero. I respect the hell out of him. I'm wondering if I'm at fault here. Let's see. Not the a-hole. Your dad set a boundary. You respected it. That's it. If dad is hurt over it, he should re-examine his feelings about the sleeping arrangements. Would I let my boyfriend sleep in the guest room to simplify my airport experience? I absolutely would, but choosing not to is totally a reasonable choice. Would I make my adult child sleep separately from their partner? I would not, but your dad wants to make that choice, so maybe neither's the a-hole. The dad set a fine boundary at first, but his reaction to the OP's response pushes him into a-hole territory. If you set a boundary and someone respects it, you don't get to whine about the result. I have to agree with that. It's because for the dad, it's not about the boundary, it's about control. And if you think too much about what the dad is trying to control, it's creepy. He's projecting that why are you making such a big deal out of this? This matters to him so much. Yes, anyone who's had a parent who's a narcissist will clock this shit immediately. It could be narcissism, it could be religion, it could be both. It could be just misogyny. It's okay for her younger minor brother to have his minor girlfriend stay in his room, but not the adult daughter. Agreed, her dad didn't take it well. He should have just respected his daughter's decision without getting angry. Here's what confuses me. I don't ever want to drive anybody to the airport. I don't ever want to pick up anybody from the airport. I do it out of love. I do it out of duty. But I never do it out of desire. So I thought that was weird when it was like, what? I want to be the one to drive you to the airport. What? Like, anytime you cancel, understand, like, you're not ready to have kids share a bedroom in your house in their early 20s. Fair enough. It's your house. Also, don't get mad if they don't want to stay there. Okay. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife my mother is correct and she needed to be a parent today and she effed it up? I'm waiting in the airport and I need to know if I effed up or not. This week my daughter, she's in middle school, lost a classmate. My daughter has not taken it well. And overall, this is her first experience of someone she knows dying. The whole class was excused from school today and the funeral is happening right now. I unfortunately could not be there. I tried, but my PTO was denied and we cannot lose this job. I flew out of Wednesday night and I am coming back now. Our daughter is a mess. She was friends with the girl that passed away. The plan is for my wife, she's unemployed at the moment, to take her to the funeral / mass and just be there. Okay, that sounds very fair. My wife is more spiritual than the average person and hates all things with the dead. Doesn't that mean she's less spiritual? I don't know. Funerals, viewing, and so on. This one is only a mass funeral with no viewing. She believes in ghosts and avoids funerals like the plague. We discussed it on Wednesday and she said she would take her kid and then go to the gravesite. I got a call from my daughter sobbing that she wasn't going to the funeral. My wife was refusing to take her. When I got her to answer my call, she told me she can't do it and she's scared to go. Okay, maybe she has like a legit phobia. I don't know. I called up my mom and asked her to pick up my daughter and take her to the funeral. My mom left work and took her and they are there now. I got a call from my wife after her crying because my mom tore her a new one. And it's so effed up that she couldn't take a kid to the funeral of a classmate. She wants me to make my mom apologize. Well, first of all, you can't make somebody apologize, but I told her that my mom was right. This was something that our daughter needed, and she effed up. That she wasn't acting like a parent because of her fear of the dead, and all she needed to do was stay through the mass. We got in a huge phone call argument, and she is calling me a huge dick. My mom is apparently getting texts also. I told her not to let our daughter know that we are fighting. Okay. Not the a-hole. Your wife let her own feelings get in the way of her daughter's. As a parent, she needs to get used to doing things that might make her uncomfortable for the sake of her child's mental health and well-being. Your wife let your daughter down today, and your daughter isn't going to forget that her mother wasn't there for her. They both need therapy. Your daughter, because she's losing a friend at that age, is absolutely traumatizing, and your wife, because her fear of death / ghosts led her to traumatizing your daughter even more. I hope she's not telling the daughter, like, we can't go because there will, like, a ghost will attach to us or something like that. Yeah, the wife messed up. If it weren't for OP calling his mom to take his daughter, she would have missed her friend's funeral. That could have been worse. No closure, no support. This would traumatize the kid if you also add the mother letting her down. Wife could have just called OP's mom herself. Right, how about not like, we're not going. How about where's like let me try to solve this in the best way possible. Like, could grandma take you? Is that an option? And if this is the only ball she's dropped, like that she couldn't make herself do in all other aspects, like, you know, because she's unemployed, like, is she being there for her at home? Is she holding her on the couch or, you know, stuff like that? I don't know. She needs to talk to her daughter and apologize for the kid. To see her mom backed out like that might cause some repercussions, starting not to trust her own mom for starters. His mom was willing to leave work last minute to take her granddaughter to the funeral. It really says something about how much she cares for her granddaughter. Bottom line is, death makes most people uncomfortable. That doesn't excuse you from doing the right thing. Life is full of uncomfortable things that have to be mastered or overcome, like calling and making appointments for things, interviews, doing taxes, filling out applications, and paperwork. Most people don't go to funerals for fun. They go to remember the deceased and support their grieving loved ones. I view it as a responsibility. I would agree with, like, it's time for therapy. If this phobia of yours is getting in the, like, what if the dad dies? What if the grandma dies? Are you not going to go to these either? Okay. Oh, that's an ad. I'm like, oh, this has a ton of and chased wind to different kiteboarding destinations around the world before I made the decision to settle down, raise my kid, and move to the suburbs where my boyfriend lives. Travel isn't foreign to me. It's something I gave up. Meanwhile, my boyfriend travels constantly for work, freely spurges on his company's dime. His friend is essentially a gazillionaire who takes lavish international trips like it's nothing, eating stunning food in far-off countries that I will never see from my kitchen. So when my boyfriend interrupts whatever I'm doing to show me yet another photo of food that I can't afford to eat in a country I can't afford to visit, no, I don't want to see it. I told him I'm not interested in his friend's photos. His response, he called me jealous, said I'm boring, and accused me of choosing to just cook at home as if that's my preference and not my reality. How come you're not joining boyfriend on some of these work trips? I would. Not the a-hole, but you do sound really unhappy. Does she? She just sounds like a realistic person to me who made it, it doesn't say bad. It said who made a decision to live a normal life and finds it annoying to be force-fed unattainable dreams. I did watch this Instagram the other day where it was like, don't follow people who are not like you. Because it just invites the comparison. Not necessarily jealousy, but like, damn, if I'm sitting here cooking up some ramen on the stove and then you show me your friend eating like a seafood boil at the same time, and then I have to look back at my ramen, like, like, I get it. Like, maybe don't show me that right now. You see that I'm cooking up some ramen and you show me your friend eating a lobster. Don't show me that right now. And also, sometimes it is okay to be like, I'm not really interested in that kind of content. If that's all your boyfriend's showing you, like, show me a funny cat, or show me some other stuff. I'm not really interested in that particular kind of content, and that should be respected, you know. Not the a-hole. Tell your boyfriend he can cook dinner from now on, since apparently it's making you boring. His overall attitude is just disrespectful, since any good partner would want their spouse to come along with them when traveling, whenever possible. I agree. If my husband was going on, like, I get it, sometimes somebody's got to be home with the kids, right? But occasionally, when it can be made possible, and I would hope that a job that has you traveling pays a decent amount, that you could sometimes invite your partner along. OP says it's not his fault that I can't go on vacations. I have kids in school, so I can't go with him if he invited me. I'm just not interested in seeing other people's food or travels, except when I'm planning a trip for myself. Am I the only one? You're not the only one. I am polite when people show me their vacation photos or send me the link to their travel blog. I do look at the photos and read the blog and listen to their stories out of a sense. I don't want you to send me your travel blog, but I'll look at a couple pictures. A sense of duty and politeness more than anything, but I can get enthusiastic about seeing yet another friend's selfie in front of an Eiffel Tower or the Taj Mahal. Not really. Unless it's a particularly unusual or instructive or funny anecdote. Thank you. Like, what else does it bring to the table? Or if it's like a breathtaking photo. It's really hard to get excited about travel experience you're not having yourself. It takes a particularly skilled raconteur / photographer to have the audience wanting to hear more and see more. Most people don't have those skills. I like to see a couple pictures of my friends' vacations. I like to see pictures of just like what my friends have going on. It doesn't make me jealous. But like my husband's friends' vacations probably wouldn't have a whole bunch of interest in. If my husband came home from work and was like, wow, look at my coworker went here, and it's just like his coworker eating his coworker's feet on a beach or something, I'd be like, okay. Alright, where are we at here? Let's do another one. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter I am disgusted by her and telling her ex she has been taking their kid to his family's side? Throwaway account. My daughter and Ryan, her ex, are 26 now. When they were both 18, my daughter got pregnant. They got the apartment together and started Ryan's family wanted them to get married, and he wasn't even straight. The breakup was extremely messy, and in the end, the custody was 50-50. Ryan's family is really religious. When it came out, they were breaking, and they were pissed. When they learned Ryan was gay, they disowned him. I thought I was at my daughter's place helping her move out when I heard Ryan's mother call him a F word. So his family's just really shitty people. Oh, but they're religious. After he was disowned for some reason, they thought they would give him access to the he would give them access to the grandbaby. Yes, I disowned you, but the baby isn't homosexual, right? So I would still like to see the baby. He basically told them to shove it. I know about this because they contacted me once to let them see the kid while I was babysitting, and I told them no. 50-50 has been a bit rough for my daughter. It's hard for her not to have her kid for major events. Example, Ryan had custody of the grandbaby during Easter, but he agreed to let my daughter have him that day so they could celebrate with my side of the family. Let us not forget, though, like, Ryan is a cheater. So call him a cheater. You know, Mom, call him a cheater. That's what he did wrong. I asked what this was about. She told me she had been taking the kids to see them for a few months. Oh, my daughter was over to pick some stuff up. She showed me pictures from her latest weekend trip. In the pictures, there was Ryan's mom. I was like, what's this about? She's like, oh, I've been taking the kid to see them for a few months now. I was like, does Ryan know? I thought they got back in contact, and she's like, no. I told her it was a horrible thing to do. They are bigots, and they disowned their own kids. She got defensive, and it went into an argument. She defended taking her kid around homophobes. And I told her I was disgusted by what she was doing. They're gonna fill that kid's head with bad stuff about his dad, too. Is what I'm